Do you want to go vegan? Watch this video for 10 things to know before you make the change. When I first went vegan, I faced a lot of challenges. So by watching this video, you can avoid some of those easy to make mistakes and transition over far easier. Before we get going, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you will get notified every time I upload a new video on helping you transition over to a vegan lifestyle. The first thing to know is vegan does not equal healthy. It's a really common misconception, but basically you can be a really unhealthy vegan. So if you're transitioning over to benefit your health, you need to make sure you're eating lots of healthy foods and not relying on processed foods, not relying on sweets and treats, candies, ice creams, all of those things that you can have vegan but are not necessarily healthy just because they are vegan. The second thing to know is you'll need to take a B12 supplement. Now, lots of people say I can get enough B12 through fortified foods like plant milks, bread, Marmite, nutritional yeast, but the plant-based doctors, the dietitians and nutritionalists, they unanimously tell us that it's just not worth taking the chance, and taking a B12 supplement every day or once a week depending on the dose is the safest way to go. Becoming deficient in B12 is not something we want to do, and it's very serious, so just take that B12 supplement and make sure that you're covered. The third thing to know before going vegan is that you are likely to experience questions, curiosity, intrigue from your friends and family, colleagues, people that are around you. I was surprised at just how interested other people were in what I was doing, because in other areas of my life people don't really care, but when it comes to veganism, people are really interested. So be prepared to answer questions about why are you going vegan? What are you going to eat? What about calcium? What about protein? What about iron? If you know the answers to these questions and you can reassure people around you that you know what you're doing, it's going to make your life a lot easier. The fourth thing you need to know is that your body is likely to change, and you might experience that with some physical sensations. You might experience some bloating, some gas, or even going to the loo a little bit more often, but there's two things to realise. Firstly, it is temporary, it is an adjustment period, and secondly, it's a positive change. What is actually happening when you experience these things is your gut microbiome is improving. It's basically now having lots more whole, healthy plant foods, and that is what you need for a healthy gut bacteria. And with healthy gut bacteria, you've got a better immune system and you've got better general overall health. So it's not a negative thing. What's your biggest concern about going vegan? What's your main fear that's stopping you or holding you back? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. The fifth thing to know is there is a period of adjustment and learning. There is a period of time where you need to educate yourself on how to cook vegan, how to shop vegan, how to read the labels, how to speak to other people about veganism, because without these kind of basic tools, it's going to be very difficult for you if you kind of just try to jump into this and you haven't had that period of learning. But with like anything else that you want to do and take on, like learning to drive or getting a new qualification, it is a little bit tricky until you get into the flow of it. You've learned what you need to know, you've got the basics covered, maybe you're starting to get a bit more advanced learning as well, and then you feel comfortable because you know what you're doing. So just be prepared that there is a period of learning when you're making a big lifestyle change. The sixth thing to know is that going vegan does not equal weight loss. It really depends what you're eating, how much you're eating, and of course how you're cooking your foods. So the best thing to do if you want to control your weight and be in a healthy weight range is to eat a healthy diet full of whole plant foods, very little processed foods, and certainly not cooking with tons of oil and fats. The seventh thing to know is that going vegan is not a miracle cure. It is not the answer for everything, and it doesn't mean that you're immune from lifestyle diseases and problems with your health. I think the reason that this vegan lifestyle has been painted this way is just because the truth is, if you are a healthy, whole food vegan, your chances of getting one of these horrible lifestyle illnesses is dramatically reduced. But a reduction does not mean elimination, so it doesn't mean that you have no chance of getting anything wrong with your health in the future. But being a whole food, healthy vegan really does help you with your chances of not getting things like obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. It also helps you to not have the likelihood of getting certain cancers, even heart disease, strokes. Lots of the very common illnesses that we really consider part of old age are dramatically reduced if you're eating a very healthy, balanced, whole food vegan diet. Having a healthy body and a healthy lifestyle is a big and complex picture. Other things that really play a part of this are things like, do you smoke? Do you have a lot of alcohol in your life? Do you have a lot of stress in your life? Do you sleep well? Do you exercise regularly? And it's these as well as your diet that are going to paint the bigger picture of your overall general health. The eighth thing to know is that perfectionism is not realistic, attainable, it's not the goal, and nobody is perfect. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a problem around the word vegan, with lots of people saying, well, you're not a real vegan if you do this, or you can't be a proper vegan because you're still doing that. And I think it holds a lot of people back, and it causes a lot of discomfort around the whole word and around the whole lifestyle. Many people picking holes in it, which I just think is just so unnecessary. And certainly when you're a beginner, perfectionism is not the goal. Nobody's perfect. I'm not a perfect vegan. Who could be, really? In this world, in society today, it is so difficult to achieve, and it should not be your goal. So if people start picking holes in you and saying, well, you can't be really vegan if you're doing X, Y, Z, I would say, please just remember that every little step you take towards this lifestyle is a positive change for your health, for the environment, and definitely for animals. So please don't be put off by the word, and please don't be put off by this, I'm not perfect enough to be vegan, because it is just ridiculous. The ninth thing you need to know before turning vegan is that you can do this even if you live in a non-vegan household or you've got a non-vegan family. Lots of people tell me that this is their biggest fear. Their husband isn't vegan, their kids aren't vegan, their housemates aren't vegan, and they want to eat together, obviously, of course. And let me rest your mind, because you can do this. I've done it, my clients have done it, people are doing it all the time, all around the world. So there are certain hacks and tricks that you can do. One example of this is you can cook one vegan meal, and then at the point of serving, you can add the meat or dairy to this person's plate while you have the vegan version. And also, if you are the only vegan in your life at the moment, a really solid piece of advice from me and many other vegans is that it's a great idea to find your community. Find people that are like-minded to you. You're doing that by watching this channel right now, but I mean in a way that you can actually communicate and even socialize with these people. Because if you are the only vegan in your family or your lifestyle or your circle of friends, you will feel a bit out of place and a bit different. So there's different ways to reach out and make new friends that are vegan, and you'll soon feel that you are not the only one in your life that's vegan. The 10th thing to know is that it is not going to be too expensive. It could even save you money. Many people think going vegan is going to cost them a fortune. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, if you want to buy loads of restaurant food and takeaway food, if you want to buy loads of convenience food and ready meals, yep, that's going to be pretty expensive, but that will be the same whatever lifestyle you're on. If you're buying your food to cook at home, I can tell you it's not more expensive, and I've actually saved money. If you think about it, you know, fruits and veggies, beans, legumes, rice, pasta, these are not more expensive than meat and dairy and fish. No way. So it definitely can save you money. So those are my top 10 things you need to know. But before you click on this video, I want to explain it is not as hard as you might believe. And I have created a little download for you in the description down below, which helps to give you those first 5 steps to going vegan. It includes a meal plan, it includes some myths debunked. So go and give that a look as well. And also reach out to me, leave me a note in the comments below or send me an email, and let's discuss your vegan goals and why you are finding it difficult right now. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. I'll see you next time. Bye.